Hey everyone, this is Dean with DCA Crypto. Got an interesting video for you guys today. Wanted to go back and look at my $10,000 portfolio video I did a while back and compare it to where we're at now and how that portfolio would be doing if we had invested into these tokens that I suggested a while back. And I wanted to see where they're at currently and where they're at a few months ago when we hit the all-time high with Bitcoin and some of the prices were up higher than where they're at now. So I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, smash that like button, and let's jump into it. All right, today we're going to be covering the $10,000 portfolio, one of the examples that I put together a few months ago, and I can do some more of these videos if you like them and just see where these portfolios would have been at if you had chose to invest in those coins like I had recommended a while back if it were me buying these coins for a $10,000 portfolio. So I want to see where they're at now currently and where they would have been if a few months back when we were at the all-time high with Bitcoin and things were pumping even harder. So let's jump into it here. All right, so on the left, I've got the $10,000 portfolio. This is the original portfolio that I put together a while back. You can go back and check my $10,000 portfolio video. I'll try to post it up here if I remember when I'm posting this video. I'll try to link it here if you guys want to watch that video. And you can see, you can verify the prices on this back when I posted that versus where they're at now. So the first one would have been, you could have bought 20 quant for about $2,000. And if you look over on the right here, this is where the prices are currently. The current value is this first number here. So currently that would still be worth about $2,040. At its peak over the last few months, it would be worth about $3,000 when quant got up to like $150. So I'm going to have the current price and the peak price over the last 3 months on this example, so you guys can see where this portfolio would be sitting at. And then the number in the parentheses here is the number, the objective of what I think it could possibly hit in the bull run. And this 5,000 would be like absolute, maximum, like we're taking off to freaking Mars in the bull run and everything's just going absolutely crazy. So, take that number on the right with like a grain of salt, but I do think quant could potentially hit $1,000 or so in this bull run. My price prediction on it was like 1,000 to 2,500 approximately. So, that's and that would put out about $20,000 to $100,000 for a $2,000 quant investment. And so that's still currently in that price range, $2,040. So if you're looking to pick up some quant, you may want to consider adding some to your portfolio. Yes, there's a chance that it may not get this high in the bull run because we don't know how ISO 222 tokens are going to do. But what if quant gets some kind of artificial intelligence partnership or something to do with DPIN or real world assets? You have to see what happens with quant because they're doing a lot of things with Overledger, so you never know what kind of partnerships and stuff they could get that could make it start flying. So keep that in mind also. The second one I got in here would have been Solana. You could have picked up 100 Solana for $2,000. That was back when Solana was like $20, so keep that in mind. That's not realistic anymore. So had you have taken this portfolio back when I posted this video, right now your Solana would be worth $14,600. And at the peak, within the last 3 months, it would be worth about $20,000 or so if you had picked up the 100 Solana back then. So quite a profit. You'd be up at least 7x or more on your Solana if you had purchased it when I did that $10,000 portfolio video. So I just like to go back every once in a while and see what my price estimates were and how good these portfolios are doing. And I think Solana could, it's already hit $200, so it's already hit my first price target here. And then I thought it could get up to $500. It could possibly get up to $600 to $800 possibly, but I want to be a little more conservative. So I still think that this Solana will be worth between $20,000 and $50,000 if you would have picked up 100 Solana for $2,000 back then. So that's probably the best performing one out of this portfolio. The third example I had on here was ADA, and you could have picked up 2,000 ADA or sorry, you could have picked up about 8,000 ADA for $2,000 when I had made that original video, and I estimate it to get somewhere between $3 and $7 in the bull run. So it could potentially end up being worth somewhere between $24,000 and $56,000 if you had 8,000 ADA. Now currently you can get 8,000 ADA. It's worth $3,600 right now. So it's nowhere near my price target yet. It's, you know, probably like 8x or 7x, somewhere around there from my first price target for ADA. So keep that in mind. I still think there's a lot of room to grow with ADA, and it hasn't caught on yet. But I think if we go into a big bull run like we should, now guarantees of that, I think it'll get $3 to $7 in this upcoming bull run. So that's how ADA is doing. So basically you would have put in $2,000 when I made that video, and that would be worth about $3,600 at its current prices, give or take. So keep that in mind. The next one on here would have been H-bar. You could have picked up 40,000 H-bar for $2,000 back when I made this video, and you know that I think it was around 5 cents per H-bar at the time. And you know, I think H-bar is probably going to get up to 50 cents to $2 at the most. And that's on the high end, just because there's going to be a lot of selling pressure on H-bar, and there's been a lot of dilution of the value of H-bar because there's been a lot more tokens coming into circulation since the last bull run when it peaked out, I think, around 50 cents. So if you had purchased $2,000 worth of H-bar when I made that video, right now that would be worth about $4,400, so a little over 2x of your investment. So not too bad, and I think that, you know, eventually H-bar could be worth, you know, and at the peak it was worth $7,000. So in this ADA here at the peak, when the last 3 months, it was worth $6,400. So you know, you could have been up $6,400 on your ADA just a few months ago, and $7,000 is what your H-bar would have been worth. So you've been up $5,000 with that one. You would have been up $4,000 with this one, because it's $6,400, but you paid $2,000 originally on the ADA here. So H-bar, I think, you know, if my price prediction's right, 40,000 H-bar could potentially be worth 20 to 80,000 in this bull run. We'll have to see how that plays out. You know, we'll see. I can't, you know, obviously I can't guarantee any of these prices. So the next one would have been GFAL. You could have picked up 50,000 GFAL for $1,000 when I made my video. It's still right now, I think GFAL could potentially get up to, you know, maybe 50 cents to $2.50 on the real high end if it really goes crazy and takes off into the billions of market cap. It just really happened. It really depends on what kind of big partnerships they get. They do have the team to do it. I mean, their CEO is from some major gaming, I forget which gaming projects he's from, but he's from some major gaming projects, and he's got a lot of experience, and so does the rest of their team. So GFAL has the experience to do that. But if you would have picked up 1,000, it would be worth about $1,200 now, $1,250. And at the peak, within the last 3 months, it'd be worth $2,300. So I think GFAL is still really cheap. If you're looking to pick it up, you know, it's still in a great buying zone if you're looking to pick up some GFAL. And I believe I have these numbers correct on this one right now. I think 50,000 GFAL would be worth around $1,200 if I'm remembering it correctly. So you'd have to check on that to be sure. And then Myria, when I made the video, you could have picked up 500,000 Myria, 500,000 Myria for $1,000. I think it was around 0.5 of a penny, around half a penny. And I think Myria is going to get between 5 cents and 50 cents this bull run, and pretty easily. And I think that would put it around 25,000 to 250,000 for the total on this one in the peak of the bull run, depending on how this does. But right now, if you had picked up 500,000 Myria when I made that video, it'd be worth about $3,350 right now, so a little over 3x on your money. And at the peak, it was worth over $7,000, $7,350 within the last few months when it was at its peak. So the total on here for this right now, if you would have invested $10,000, that would be worth $29,240 right now. So not too bad, about a 3x from my original purchases when I made that video, if you would have made the purchase on it then. And then at its peak over the last 3 months, that 10,000 would have been worth $46,000. So that's not bad at all. It's some pretty good return on your investment of 4x for a pretty safe portfolio. Nothing too crazy risky in here. These are all solid coins and solid projects. Yeah, Myria, GFAL are a little bit riskier because they're smaller cap gaming projects, but with the team behind them and the experience that they have, I think they're fairly safe plays. And as you guys have seen, Myria's been performing really well, and I think GFAL will eventually with that. But my total estimated profit on this, or not profit, but total estimated returns on this would be $134,000 to $661,000 if all these went absolutely ballistic and did a blow off top to these maximum price numbers. I don't expect them to do that. I would think that would be the absolute highest they could possibly do. But I think over $100,000 would be a pretty fairly conservative estimate for this portfolio if you had put 10,000 in when I made that first video. Now, currently, if you wanted to build this portfolio for you, it would cost around $29,000. So keep that in mind. A lot of people don't have that much money to put into this market. A lot of people don't even have 10,000 to put into this market. So, it took me months and months and months to get, into the 5 figures for crypto and start just, getting, money over time and putting in 1,000 here, 1,000 there, a couple thousand here, 500 here, $250 here and there. And I just kept adding as much as I could till I could get a really good portfolio built up for this bull run. And then I took out profits on a bunch of my coins like Solana that pumped, and Lit Labs and some others that did some like 8x and some crazy numbers. And then I had, I had Portal. I picked up that at 6 cents, and now it was over $2. It was over $2 when it launched, and I made a lot of money off from that. So I've been able to build up my portfolio over time and get a decent portfolio, but it's not easy for sure. Easier said than done. So I realize that, but not too bad. I wanted to go over this for you guys and let you know how this $10,000 portfolio would perform. And there's a B example for this too. This is example A. In example B, I had Quant again and ADA, but then I added some XRP, Casper, and then I also had some GFAL and Myria, some Medicaid, and I think Medicaid's going to do really well. It's just going to depend on what kind of partnerships Medicaid gets, but they did switch to Base Network now, so that's a really positive thing for them. And I think Jasmine is going to do pretty well also. So I don't have the current prices for these coins right now to show you where these would be at. So I could do that in another video, but I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to kind of go over this with you. And we could also take a look at the market here real quick. Current market cap of almost 2.5 trillion. There are some good buys out there. Solana, it's pumped quite a bit. I hate to tell people to buy Solana $145. I personally wouldn't be buying it at that, but I do think it's going higher than this in the main bull run. But my fear is that we could come down a little bit yet in the market. When it was around $115 or something recently, that probably would have been a good time to pick some up. But with it being at $145, yeah, eventually you could definitely make some money off Solana if it hits $300, $400, $500, $600. But it's still, you're still looking at a 2 to 5x if it were to do that. So you got to keep that in mind, or 2 to 4x. So the returns on it are not that fantastic, but I think it's a pretty safe play where it's at now if you want a long-term hold for it. Cardano is still a good buy at 45 cents. Yeah, sure, it was around 22 or 24 cents earlier last year, but at 45 cents, I still think it's a pretty good buy. It's probably going to go to $3 to $5 or so in this bull run. We'll have to see what it does. Avalanche, another solid project. If you're looking to add some of the bigger solid cap coins to your portfolio, Avalanche is another one that's really well. Polkadot maybe, but I would prefer Chainlink or Avalanche over Polkadot personally. That's just my personal preference with it. And Polygon might do well. Really just depends on how their V2 works, and that their CEO or their founder, something like that, left Polygon recently, so that had me a little bit worried about the project. And then with them going to a V2 token, and it kind of makes me wonder how well it's going to do So, you know, I wouldn't necessarily suggest Polygon, but ICP is definitely another good one. If you're looking to add some ICP, my price prediction on this one is somewhere between $50 and $100 for ICP in the bull run. Some other people think it could get to $200 to $300. We'll have to see what it does, but you know, it is a great project, and they now have artificial intelligence built into their, you know, on the blockchain, built into their platform. So that's a really positive thing for ICP for this bull run, and they're doing everything on chain. So it is a fantastic project with what they're doing. So I think ICP is going to surprise a lot of people in this bull run. Fetch AI is another good one, but if I remember, that might be one of them that's combining with two other projects. If I'm remembering the AI projects correctly, I think it was FET and a couple other ones that were going to be combining together. I think AGIX and another one we're going to be combining with each other for to make one coin. I think that's the correct. There's three of them, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I haven't looked at that yet with those three coins. I think they were going to combine into one coin or something. So it may or may not be a good buy to pick up some of those right now. And then Hedera. I think Hedera is going to do really well, but there's going to be a lot of selling pressure in that 40 to 50 cent range. So you need to be careful with HBAR. Render is another great project. And I think the another one, that Filecoin, is a great buy right now, $6.15. It did get down to $5 recently when we had that crash recently. And it would have been a good time to pick up some more. But I didn't have the extra funds at the time. I picked some up at $6.60, I think. But I should have probably grabbed some more when it dropped down to that $5 mark, but it is what it is. Filecoin, I think, is going to go much higher than where it's at now in the upcoming bull run. Same with Optimism. That's another good project. So Caspa, I don't know how well Caspa is going to do from here. It's already had some massive gains in this bull run. I mean, people were picking this thing up really super cheap earlier last year, so I hate to pick up any Caspa at 10 cents or so. Yeah, it's probably going to go higher than here, but how high is the question? I'm not sure. There's a lot of people holding Caspa for a long time, so there may be some serious selling pressure on that one pretty soon. Quant's still at $100. I think Quant's still a good buy, and I think it could do really well. So you might want to take a look at Quant and Flare and some other ones. You know, think about adding some of these solid projects to your portfolio. There's some micro caps out there. A lot of the gaming coins out there are at rock bottom lows or close to it right now. You can pick them up for really cheap. And gaming pumped really hard, as you guys know. I think gaming's still going to be one of the biggest narratives in this bull run. I think these gaming coins are going to pump even harder this next time around when we get a big gaming run. So keep that in mind if you're looking for some really good gainers for your portfolio. Look at some of the smaller cap gaming projects. There's a ton of them out there that are great ones. I've covered a bunch of them on my channel, so you can watch all. You can go to my playlist and click on gaming. There's a gaming playlist, and you can play a bunch of those and look at any of those coins in any of those projects that I've suggested on my channel before. But like I said, this isn't financial advice, guys. I'm not telling you to go ahead and buy these coins. Make sure you do your own research and your own due diligence on all of them. So that's pretty much what I got for this video. I appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to hit the like for the YouTube algorithm. It really helps get my videos out to more people if you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next video. Tell me what you want.